Hello, Dollars, and I'm happy you came in with us tonight to join. We're getting ready to talk about doing business and culling outside of those lines, right? And we're talking about tonight on how far we've gotten with our trip to Dubai and how much wisdom that we have gained in the last month and also the different changes, right? Because when you're getting ready to do things outside of your state or to do things outside of the country or going into business, it takes time. And so we want you to know that on this video tonight, we're going to share with you exactly what we have been experiencing. Some of us are going to Dubai. Some of us going to wait. Like for me, I won't be going to Dubai this time because I've decided to do investments, and so that will call for me to go next year to receive my keys and get the handover, right? But we have Felicia, just Sarah, and Glenda. They're still going. They're going to hit the ground running to find out exactly what would be best to be utilized and how they can use the information that they've gained on this side to go to Dubai. And then they're going to come live with me while they're in Dubai. And we're going to talk with you again and share some nuggets. Or either we're going to wait till they get back, maybe because of the time difference. So we may come on after they get back to share everything that they've learned while they're there. But I'm telling you, your dreams can come true. And I want you to know you need to make sure that you gain the exposure, that you stay in with your dream, you stay pointed, and you have your people around you that will support you and that you're up for the change. So let's get ready to go in tonight and get these nuggets, and we're going to hit the ground running. We coming in hot tonight. So I'm glad that you joined us. Let's get ready and let's go right to it. We are so glad to be back with you on this December the 19th, 6 days out from Christmas. And we promise you that we will be back. So we're coming in again tonight, hot and heavy. We're coming in to share some important information and updates that we have, some nuggets. So what we're going to start, we're going to jump right on in. And I'm going to ask Felicia to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about herself. And then Glenda, you come right on in right after.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia Lachelle. I am in the beauty industry and have been in the beauty industry for 30 plus years. And I am just recently added a loctician to my resume. And to come, I'm looking into being a permanent makeup artist, which is doing the microblading, doing the lips, eyeliner, etc.
Awesome, awesome. And Glenda, come on, Miss Glide and Glenda, down there in those Miami. No, where are you at in Florida? But you're in the street, okay? Okay. Introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you, Glenda Jackson, President and CEO of Jackson Management Group. And your construction professional. I hang around a lot of men all day because I am in construction. And I've been in construction over 20 years, commercial and residential. And today we're going to talk about coloring outside of those lines. So I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. So tonight we're going to come on with you, and we really want to discuss with you our progress thus far in doing business in 2024 and beyond, and cutting outside of those lines. And I'm telling you, we have some very good information for you tonight, and we want to share with you all that we have learned. And then the lady's going to be discussing when their trip is planned. So right now I'm going to ask Felicia. Oh, and by the way, let me back up just a little bit. Lady Just Sarah will not be with us, but she's going to be with us next month when we get ready to come back on again. So something had come up, and these holidays are here. So we just We're going to move right along, but she's still with us in the group. So it's Glenda, it's Felicia, and just Sarah and myself. So right now, I wanted to ask Felicia, because we've been to Africa as well. I wanted to ask her a little bit about what she learned about the locking and how she plans to proceed and adding that on to her resume, as well as getting things up and getting ready to do business outside of the USA. Miss Felicia.
Oh my God, thank you so much for asking. When I originally wanted to do locks, I found out we were going to Africa. I wanted to make sure that I got my lock done that energy, Ghana, and I'm glad that I did. The price was it was a reasonable price, and as I stated earlier, I added locks, micro locks onto my menus at well, and I'll be opening up my calendar in January to start doing locks. So I'm super excited about that. Flew yet to Ghana, the Ghanaians really touched my heart, especially in salon that I was working, yeah. And myself, I personally go over there and do work as well in the community and to let them experience is to make more money than what they're making. But super excited about that.
Absolutely. So now, with you getting ready for your trip to Dubai, and I know that you have set up and we had discussed about going and that you were going to visit Salon while you're in Dubai, trying to, get the culture, see where your business would fit, what would be the perfect fit for that. And I know that you have made an appointment to go to the glass. What is it called again now?
The Glass House Salon?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I definitely,
What is it that? Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I initially started out wanting to work in the free zone in Dubai, but there has been some transitions that I am making. I want to go and scout the land out first. And one of the places that I would love to visit is the glass house to see how they're moving, where is the need, and how I fit into bringing resolve to what's needed in that area.
And so, do you think it will be wise to say, because we're dropping a nugget here now, it will be wise for those that are intending to do business either in another state as well as outside of the country to go and visit and even visit in that industry? What would you say about that?
I would definitely say anywhere that you're trying to migrate to, you definitely need to do your research and you need to scout out the land so that you can fully immerse yourself to the community that you're choosing to work in. Definitely. You don't want to go in blind.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Absolutely. So before you start to spend a lot of money, you would say, give me 3 steps that you would say for starting and going outside of the state, the country. What 3 nuggets would you say that they most need to do?
So one of the major things that you would need to do if you're in country or out of country, you need to basically see the rules and the regulations that each state or each country require. If you're in the state, of course, you have to have your license. Going outside of the country, they have like a certain ruling that you can work in or work, out of this country. You have to make sure you have all of your paperwork and your ducks in a row to work in that area. Another thing I would say also, a multifaceted stylist as myself, you definitely need to see where the need is. That's so important. So wherever the need is, you can just kind of finagle yourself and fit in that community.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. We're going to be coming back because we're just going to interject. But now, Miss Glenda. All right, let's get down to it. So, with the questions that I've asked, Felicia, with you going, what would be the three main points that you would share tonight on with people that going to be watching later on? What would you say would be the three main points that you would suggest that they would need to do?
Great. So I think number one is to know your industry. So that's either in states or stateside. Everything is correlates either in the states or outside of the country. You need to know your industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like Felicia said, what are the rules and regulations of your industry? And make connections. I think it was very important for me to make connections before I get to Dubai. But even if I was going to LA to start, to open up my business there or to expand my business there, I would still want to have connections where I can talk to people like, what is the lay of the land here in Dubai, UAE? What is the lay of the land in LA? So I can get that boots on the ground, hands on feel, and not just think it what I think it should be, but actually getting information of what it is.
Yes, and I think, Glenda, that you and I have talked about this. And then you have to find out the different fees that they may require from you to do different things. So before you just jump all the way in, and I know that you're going to be leaving as well, you and Felicia will be on the same flight headed to Dubai in January, late January. So when you're getting ready to go, tell me the two main things that you want to make sure that you get once you get on the ground there and get feet on the ground while you're in country. What are the two main things that you're going to be looking for that you need to make your final decision on whether or not you would be doing business there in Dubai or you would be looking to other countries as well, which we are. So I want to let you all know that we're just not one phase, but we're traveling to different places to see kind of where you fit and doing the research. So tell me, Glenda, on that, what would be the two things that you are looking for, tying your feet hit the ground, and when you get to Dubai?
So one is I'm actually looking for people who look like me. I'm just gonna put it out there. I want to see some people who look like me. So I plan to be in some spaces or locate some spaces that I can get their feedback on what it is to be in Dubai, what it is to live in Dubai. And I plan on meeting some of the connections that I've made on LinkedIn in other contacts to really talk to them about where they see that I could possibly be successful. These are people who've been in the UAE for over a decade. So they have the experience of the country and as well as they're in real estate and construction. So I'm looking for them to hear what they have to say about diamonds of them in construction in Dubai, whether it be me selling materials, buying and selling materials, construction materials in the country,
Absolutely.
whether me being a developer in the country or being an investor. As long as it's around the buildings, I'm good.
So we're hitting the ground. So in other words, when you get to Dubai, you all ladies are you're going with a mission, you're hitting the ground running. So you know exactly, you're focused because you've taken the time to do the research. And I would say we've been talking about this going to Dubai now, what, maybe a year, Felicia?
Close to a year.
Hmm. And do you think that a year is enough time to map everything out so that when you get there, you would be using the trip to increase what your knowledge is already, to add to what you already have? So when you get there, you have your list on the things that you're looking for. You have a list on where you need to go and contacts that you need to get in contact with, like that. So is that what we're um, saying, and so that people could understand when they come on, they could really get with it on this.
Yes, I would say that a year is basically ample enough time. However, some things may not go as planned. However, it is you need to make sure you have all of your contacts in place And as like Glenda said, you need to know the people you want to network with. You would make sure that you have your contacts and all of that other good stuff. Looking for people that look like her. Also looking for people that look like me so that I can go in and put boots on the ground and run hard.
Yeah, because what we want to do, we want the audience to understand. We want you to make your investment work for you. So it's so important that you do the groundwork first. So when you get to another state or another country, you are prepared enough that you can gain something, and as well as you're going to have a little playtime, and I want you to, engulf yourself into the culture, because you that's when you really get to understand how things work, right, ladies? When you say so, when you're getting there and you're going to a new country and you're going to be meeting new people, make sure you have done your research on the culture so that you don't offend anybody. Because I also know that I watched, and I knew that when I went in 2019, you can't spit on the ground in certain places, you can't hold hands in certain places. It's just different things that you have to be aware of when you're going to these different countries. And it's even the same way in the States when you say that, ladies, because what I can do in California, I can't do here in Alabama. Am I right?
Absolutely.
So what do you think, Glenda, when we say that this is a dream of ours to be global and to expand our businesses? What would you say and give to uh, another woman of color that has the aspiration and the desire to even maybe become an expat, move out the country? What would you give one thing that you think would be crucial to making that person be successful?
I would say research. You definitely research. And different aspects of research. Like don't just use the Google machine and hear what that feedback is, right? But also look at user spoon. Talk to people, see what's happening in the landscape. I used like Eventbrite. They have events that's happening in the UAE, LinkedIn. See what's happening in the town, it's in the country. Do your research. Here you ladies said that you've been working on this for a year is amazing. I just came into this end of July, early August, but I still feel like I am ready and I've been super diligent about doing the research. Research is just so increasing.
Okay, now, we have also looked, Linda, on about joining different networks. And it was one that I told you about, and then come to find out you had already had information about that network. So tell me a little bit about that, because that was so kind of hilarious. But not when y'all know Glenda, she's always looking and researching for information. So when I called up to tell her about it, then she already knew about it. So I told her tonight I wanted her to share about her experiences. So you might want to join these different organizations prior to even getting there so you can get into networking. Could you explain that a little bit, Glenda?
Yes, yes. So I'm a master networker. I believe that it is a part of my sun sign and my moon sign. So to be the busy bee, right? So I'm always talking to people, trying to find out what's happening. So I believe it's BMI is the organization that you're talking about. I attended several events. I was invited as a guest to several events. And from my understanding, the perspective that I got here in Maryland was that the BMI chapter only has one person, one business for each trade or service. So they only have one CPA. They only have one construction manager. They only have one early childhood education person, right? So what they do is that you start networking and referring out to other people who are in the chapter. So I might meet someone to say, oh, I'm looking for new child care place for my daughter to go to early child care. And I say, oh, that sounds so nice. reach out to Dr. Kelsey. She's in the organization. She's been vetted. A lot of people already are using her. Send her out. Or that may say, I'm looking for a new hairstylist, a new optician. I want to get my hair boxed. I can say, well, reach out to Felicia. And there's only one in each chapter. What I didn't know was that there was a chapter in Dubai ID until Dr. Constance brought it to my attention. So that was it's pretty awesome.
And the it's Dubai International Network. Why is it DIN is the acronym or DNI?
Uh,
Dubai Network International Dubai International Network. Which one is it?
I'm not 100% sure at the moment. I didn't have my
I
notes.
think it's Dubai, it's DNI, Dubai Network International. So if you guys want to go and take a look at that, now we're coming off the cuff here because I just got this information about a week ago, but I do know it can be Googled and you can find out about it, whether or not it will work for you or not. But now the other nugget that Glenda shared about a month ago when we were on, she talked about LinkedIn. Okay. And that's another one, Felicia, that I want you as well to become a part of LinkedIn. And either one of you can jump in and tell a little bit about it. Well, Felicia, I don't know if you know about it. I had been in LinkedIn, but I hadn't done my work like my homework with it. But I am preparing to go in and update my information on LinkedIn and start on that as well. So tell me a little bit about that, Glenda, because I know you really have hit that area very hard, and that's that LinkedIn.
Yes. Once I received that nugget from an organization in a mastermind class that I'm in to reach out using LinkedIn, and I've definitely hit it hard. So I started looking at different groups that are in Dubai around construction, around women in business, women empowerment, and started making those connections. Also, as I'm looking through LinkedIn and trying to find project managers, construction managers, subcontractors, I'm using the search feature exactly like I would use Google, but I'm connecting with people, sending them messages, letting them know that hey, I'm here. I'm interested in everything that you're doing. Building a rapport in the comments, new postings. If it's something that I find that resonates with me and my business, I may repost it. So just trying to build those connections virtually, and they are turning out to be connections that I'll be making, but I get boots on the ground.
Because in actuality, we're in a new world, people, if you don't know, and you're really going to have to be well versed in networking virtually because a lot of countries and other states you can just get on without even taking a trip and get on a Zoom and make contacts. So you need to use these resources that we're talking about tonight to at least get your feet wet and get started with that so that you can start a conversation just like Glenda said, and that way you could talk to this one and start following, sharing things from their page, getting information off of that that's pertinent to your uh, service or whatever you're going to be offering or what you work with in your industry as well. So, Felicia, what do you think about even going into LinkedIn? What is your thoughts on that? Would you be interested in it? I have kind of been laid back, but I see that it would increase me if I do.
So I am on LinkedIn. So so for LinkedIn, I also have my crisis counseling up there and found several jobs when I'm licensed. I really haven't played with it a lot in the beauty industry, but but I familiarize myself with that. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Absolutely. And another thing I think that we should tell everyone, get you a good website, would you say, ladies? Where people can find you or know how to get in touch with you, sharing your information out. And I think that you have to really build your websites and your information that would make you So you need to get some professionals, I would say, to kind of maybe come in and help you out with that. So that way you make sure that you are marketable, you know, because in fact, I'm thinking about changing my logo with my early child care center because the logo that I have, it is kind of like, you know, I need to make it more global and make it more 2024 and beyond, and really 2025 and beyond, because everything now is digital. And so if you don't have a good digital presence, I just don't know where you would fit in at for real. Like my granddaughter said, for real, for real. I don't know where you would fit in. So, ladies, would you say that would be a great start as well? Just starting here in your local city where you are, that you need to start out with that as well, and building, your contacts and whatnot. Anybody?
Yes, I definitely agree with that. You have to constantly keep I have a website, constantly keep my website up with the time and the things that are going on, so it's a constant change. So, yes, to stay with the ch
So we have to stay vigilant. Would you say the same thing as well, Glenda?
I'm sorry. Yeah, choose view your website is your digital business card. People will meet you. Even if you send them an email, they'll see at yada yada yada.com. At least for me, that's the first thing you do. I'm gonna go to your URL and see what your website looks like. So it is your digital business card. Yes.
Absolutely. And in fact, what you're saying that today I went on because Um, I'm in early childhood education as well, and then I do real estate as well. So I am doing real estate in Dubai, and we have bought 2 apartments. So now we're global investors, and so now we're getting ready to proceed on with that. But on state side, I am in early childhood education, and I went on my website today because we're in a point now where we need to make changes, and you need to make the pivot now because things are changing so quickly. But I looked on my website and I was like, this is kind of bland. I had to say it to myself. I need to do some update. I need to change the coloring, you know, and whatnot. And I needed to change the verbiage. It needs to be a little bit more different because the society in which we're living in now and the younger people, they're not, it's not newspaper. Everything is with this right here.
Mhm.
If they can't get it right here, they won't know you. And it's got to be easy. You got to be able to go in and out. They're not going to sit there for 45 minutes waiting till you get to what you need to get to. So you need to make sure that when you capture them, and your eye and your focus, your coloring needs to be correct. Your wording and your letters, all of that makes a difference because we're visual, and everything is going digital and visual. Would y'all say the same thing, ladies, too?
Absolutely. I went to purchase some products for some clients, and after I left the store speaking with the young lady, was like, I think I need to change my website to make it easier to navigate." This was like
Come on.
be 5 hours ago. Like Leia said, that is pretty much that's your virtual business card. So, yeah, on that point.
Because in actuality, they're going to see that before they see you.
Absolutely.
So if it's not up to date or it's not um, easy to navigate, they're in and they're gone, because I know myself, I get frustrated if it takes me too long with this or that. It's just like it becomes frustrating. So you wanted to make it easy to navigate, easy to get in and come out, and then get the information they need, make the appointments easier, where there's a quick response. Because even with that, we were saying we needed to upload our parent application. And so by us doing that, we need to make it easier, and then we need to be able to receive the information quickly so we could print it off and get back with the parent. So the parent will say, well, they never got back with me. I'm going on.
Yes, so absolutely. You want to make it user friendly. That's basically what I'm trying to do with mine, make it user friendly.
I think that's a great point because I have gotten frustrated on websites when I'm trying to look for a certain piece of information. I just need your address. Like, why am I clicking through 7 different tabs on the website? All I want to find is your address. Please make it easy, but give yourself grace as well, because sometimes um, building a website can be daunting. You know what you want on there. You know the information that you want to have on there, but give yourself some grace because it can. You're gonna get there. Just take the elephant, eat it one bite at a time.
Absolutely. And two, when you make it difficult, because I think about our saged people, people of a certain age, sometimes it's hard for them to navigate. I think about my mom who is 74. That's a potential client that you could possibly lose because they don't know how to navigate your website. So we definitely need to make it user friendly.
But I do believe that you must initiate getting into some type of class. If you don't know, get into some type of class where you can learn more about building your website, building um your internet capabilities where people can come in and help you. Because, like for myself, I don't know how to do a lot of things. I'm either calling Felicia or I'm calling Glenda to find out on how to do it. But they are there to help me. But there are things like on YouTube that you can do for beginners that don't cost you money, that you can learn different things on how to build your website, what needs to be on your website, and what is the crucial information that you want to be on there. But I would say you do need to make sure you update your information. And I think the way things are moving, ladies, wouldn't you say, I think every 6 to 8 months, I think you need to revisit your website just to make sure, or especially on a yearly, when you say that, at least a yearly basis, to make sure that it's still relevant to what you got going on, right?
Absolutely. I visit my website probably bi-monthly. Um, One, you want to make sure that it's still up and running, right? You don't want to have a glitch happen that you don't know about. So you want to quite frequently take a look at your website. And but for content, I would say yes, 6 to 8 months, you should be updating your content if you need to. You might not need to, but just taking a look at it and see if there are some things you might need to update.
Yes, and then I'll tell you another thing that I realized from my website, just going back and looking at it. I don't think you need to add a whole lot of names, like who does this and who does that, because in what we're industries that we're in, those can change. But I think you're going to be there, and maybe your director or your acting supervisor will be there long term. And I think those are really the only two names that you need on there. And then you can add all of the qualifications of your staff, because you're still going to be running that through with application, right? And that's not going to change. It's going to more or less increase. So that would be where you would go in and change your verbiage on what other classes that you went to, that you obtained another certificate or another qualifying um, something that's on there. Like for you, Glenda, you have to get certain qualifications and building standards and whatnot. So those things need to be there. And then Felicia, for you, what I would see, you're adding on makeup, microblading, you're adding different things, and your certifications will change. So that's something that you need to upgrade as well, that you have in your salon, and that your services you're able to provide.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have to go in and change mine a little bit more frequently. So I would say I'm visiting my website, I would say once a week to either change to something to make sure everything is proper, adding on, tweaking it. So I'm always in it.
Yeah.
I may have say days blocked off that I was like, oh, I don't want to do this, but then somebody may say, oh, I can't get it that day. Okay, so I'm in the website changing the date, opening it up. So
Right, right. And so it's good to have that information available, and really at finger where you can get on and change it and make those changes. Well, ladies, I really thank you all tonight for being with us. And we've had a rough night tonight with technology, but but we made it all through with this, and I'm so glad that you all gave me your time. So next month, everyone will be coming back with doing business and coloring outside of those lines, and we're going to change that 2024 because hey, we're going to be in 2025, and we still going to be here doing what we do, coming back here dropping these nuggets so that you can be better. And what we want to do is always empower you, enlighten you, and share with you information as we're going through it. And then that way you don't have to make the mistakes or have the pitfalls that we've had. Right?
Absolutely.
When y'all, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go out with this, and I know I love to hear my our Glenda. She's gonna take us on out of here, and she's in those Florida streets, and I'm here in these Alabama streets, and Felicia's there in them Atlanta streets, and we are getting ready for Christmas and spending time with our family and friends. So come on, Glenda's, and give us your bye. So I'm ready for it, and y'all have a blessed one. Come
Okay,
on, Glenda.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.